Good evening, fervent viewers. A pleasure once again to have you for the primetime news on My Media Prime Television, The African Eye. Statistics made public by the International Foundation for Peace, Human Rights and Development show a good number of internally displaced persons living under deplorable conditions in the West region. The statistics were reviewed recently during a meeting which focused on the rights of internally displaced persons in Bafoussam. An insight of the situation with Joy Ngong.
Over 84,322 internally displaced persons from the crisis-hit Northwest region are spread across 1,568 villages in the West region, a figure that could be revised upwards according to statistics from the International Foundation for Peace, Human Rights and Development. These IDPs who are in a daily struggle for survival.
This time around is so difficult. It's very difficult because, like you see my brother at the other end, Jeremy with an accident in the hand. Every time we're in the hospital, he will be in the best position to explain what he's going through. As for the children, I'm still waiting for my uncle. He promised to at least tell us something. They need way to at least raise some monies to add to it and pay the landlord, because the rental share is so difficult. It's so high.
In this light, the International Coffee and Naan Association, now known as the International Foundation for Peace, Human Rights and Development, launched a project recently to meet the needs of these vulnerable people.
Our action is not only in direction for you. Our action is only for the citizens of the Bafoussam or West Region. Because it is important, we try to sensitize the population of Bafoussam. You know that when the person says it's like that, it is as a stigmatization. Ça c'est un anglophone, ça c'est un Bamenda. Sometimes, yes, say, but if you receive this kind of thing, don't fear. Say yes. Yeah.
The IDPs were advised on how to survive on a daily basis and coexist with their hosts. This is in line with the campaign launched by the association in July 2021, scheduled to run for 12 months.
From Bafoussam, we take you to Marché de Vivre in
Towns like Bafoussam, Fumban, Koutaba, Douala, Yaoundé, as well as countries like Guinea Equatorial, Gabon, and Koussi. In the early hours of the morning, both buyers and sellers bustled to buy fresh stocks such as watermelon, bananas, cocoyams, tomatoes, vegetables, and many more, even amid difficult conditions. We get to the market by 10 a.m. and get back home by 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., sometimes 8 p.m. This is due to bad roads. It is worth mentioning that though these markets have been existing for about 25 years, providing food and other basic home necessities as well as commodities for the community, the market have no shades, table, stalls, was still shelter when it rains. Look at the market, a big market like Fumbod Market, one of the biggest markets in Cameroon, yet it has no stores, stall or hideout. The only thing we have here as hideout when it rains is a little buyers, gardeners and all the market users call on government to react promptly regarding the ongoing works of the road and safety of the community as they look forward to the completion and inauguration of market stalls as well as better roads.
Here in Douala, 2 children have died after a wall collapsed on them. The parents of the victims say the children were working in a chantier in PK17, a neighborhood in Douala 5 subdivision, when the walls of the uncompleted building collapsed on them. Noraka KB recounts.
2 children have reportedly died following the collapse of an uncompleted structure at the Peka the said neighborhood in Douala, the economic capital of Cameroon. The unfortunate incident occurred on Wednesday, December 29, 2021, claiming 2 lives. According to reports gathered, the 2 children were doing some chores in the building before it collapsed, and sadly enough, one of the kids died on the spot as he was being buried under the debris of the collapsed structure, while the other child breathed his last as he was being rushed to the hospital to seek urgent medical attention. The family to these kids have been left devastated to the core, but they have just their eyes to cry and mourn the loss of their children. Investigations have been...
While prostate cancer, on the other hand, which also falls along the top 5 deadliest cancers, still has a long way to be prioritized on health talks locally. In this light, besides complying with their corporate social responsibilities, the Global Health System Solutions, a non-governmental organization well known for strengthening medical laboratories in the Cameroonian health sector for the past 10 years, is partnering with the Standard Chartered Bank for Africa to launch a free screening campaign against prostate cancer in the Southwest region. And this is what the partnership deal has achieved so far.
Standard Chartered Bank contacted GHSS to partner with GHSS to support breast cancer free screening in littoral region. When we carried out that initiative, they found that it was necessary for us to address a health issue that concerns men, and we thought that supporting prostate cancer screening will be one of the key health areas that we could support men.
While launching the free screening campaign in the presence of both state and non-state officials.
Going to continue with sensitization and screening of men from 40 and above.
Given that prostate cancer is ranked amongst the top 5 deadliest cancers globally, it is hoped that health immunization will be achieved at this level.
3, 4.
Sons and daughters of Botalan village in Limbe Southwest region have drawn the curtains of the 6th edition of the Botalan Cultural Festival, christened Maloko Mabua, the effervescence of this socio-cultural event with Kuma Honore.
The 6th edition of Botalan Cultural Festival has successfully come to an end, with the winners of various competitions carrying home encouraging prizes. The 2-day festivities began with an ecumenical service and ended with socio-cultural activities, with the canoe race at the center of the day. The ecumenical service, which took place at the village square, was officiated by Reverend Von Henry, parish pastor of Botalan. The man of God called on villagers to remain united than ever before and not to listen to the devil, who only comes to destroy. The church service was followed by a solidarity walk round the village to invoke the spirit of the ancestors to stay with them, welcoming the population.
Everything went well, and we congratulate all those who came, congratulate all those who participated, and we really congratulate the whole village because they always show concern whenever we have a cultural festival.
Gang 1 emerged the winner of the 6th edition of the canoe race competition and went home with the sum of 300,000 francs CFA, medals and a trophy. Gang 2 came second and received the sum of 250,000 francs CFA and a trophy, while Gang 3 came third and dollied home with the sum of 200,000 francs CFA. Other interesting prizes included wrestling, swimming, fishing, fashion parade, choral music, amongst others.
The president of the Southwest Interior and Exterior Arts Decoration Job, popularly known as staffers, has pleaded on the government to assist the union train more decorators, especially in externally displaced persons, to make ends meet. He was speaking during the first ever graduation ceremony of staffers that took place in Limbe recently. Kuma Honore once again.
They are 8 in number, graduating as the first batch of trainees under the banner of the Southwest State of the Arts Union, commonly called staffers. After successfully undergoing a 3-year course in internal and exterior arts decoration of the house, the Southwest Staffers Union saw them fit to be awarded diplomas to permit them carry out their duties as professionals in the staffing domain. Confident of their delivery, the president of the Southwest Staffers Union, Nasobe Edwin, called on the laureates to make good use of the skills acquired during the training to improve on their livelihood.
Staffs are about decorating homes, houses, interiors and exteriors. People do not know it that much. It's one of one of the work that is like the best ceiling for now, so ever that people put in the houses is staff. So that's what we are fighting for, and to make our work to have a dignity.
Nasobe Edwin equally used this opportunity to call on the government and other stakeholders to assist the Staffers Union restore hope to some of their trainees who are IDPs running away from the crisis-stricken regions of Cameroon.
We are still searching for more to come and sacrifice their time and learn the trade so that they can be somebody tomorrow. So that's our main focus, and to help the IDP, because there are many children now that are just walking around without doing anything.
For this laureate, it is a dream come true, as becoming a staffer has always been his dream.
I was doing a different job there. I met a man, and that man was called Mr. Dennis. It was a pastor. He tried to bring me to his body that I should come and learn stuff. I did not hesitate. Then I just tried to at least follow him. But
working in a region like the Northwest or Bamenda with the ongoing socio-political crisis and going to work with guns and flying bullets from left to right to save lives had not been an easy task to medics. It's for this reason some staff of the Abbey Specialist Polyclinic situated at Brezaris Junction, Bamenda, December 29, 2021, were awarded with prizes and certificates of recognition as need to identify with those who are hardworking.
There are people that are not around, but they get information about Abbey Specialist Polyclinic. We are talking about the diaspora. We had 5 people from the diaspora calling us to say there was need for us to identify with people who are hardworking.
It was also a come-together to fellowship a common meal with the staffs and well-wishers of the health institution. Dr. Tebe Ignatius, CEO of Abbey Specialist Polyclinic, during the award ceremony to his staff, said it's a start to say they can always work hard and be appreciated.
Hard work doesn't always start with you taking care of the patient. It takes you humility.
And it is difficult to see organizations of this nature coming out with awards for its staff, especially at this trying time that we have in the Northwest province, and somebody comes out with an award for officials at this period of time, the period of reconciliation, the period of giving, which means he is soft-hearing, he thinks of his workers, he has the workers in mind, and he's wishing to see the place grow from.
The laureates, through their representative promise with the equipment put in place by the administration and the awards, will motivate them to attend more to patients more carefully.
We have the equipment, we have the personnel, we have the facilities. This special award, me in particular, is going to boost, motivate me to attend to the patients more carefully. I have to put another human touch to this, because sometimes when you work and people think like it don't happen. It never motivates you to do much more.
It should be noted, the prize award was not just the desire of the management of Abbey Specialist Polyclinic, but the desire of well-wishers for an assessment by the same workers themselves, select those who were excellent in what they are doing.
In sports, the 2022 Men's Cup of Nations Championship to be hosted in Cameroon has been postponed by the Confederation of African Handball. The initial date of the competition, scheduled on January 13th to 23rd of 2022, has been moved to June 22 to July 2nd, 2022. The reasons explained in this report by Eileen Sama.
The 25th edition of the African Men's Handball Tournament will no longer take place from January 13th to the 23rd, 2022 in Cameroon, as agreed by members of the Confederation of African Handball during a video conference meeting held on Tuesday, December 28, 2021. The new date picked for the championship is June 22nd to July 2nd, 2022 in Cameroon. This information was made public by the institution's communication officer for Cameroon, Bonnie Philippe, after the video conference. It is not clear why the Confederation took this decision, but Cameroon is hosting the African Football Championship during the same time, and it risks being the greater attraction. It is worth mentioning that this is the second time the 12-nation event has suffered postponement. However, the recent one is certainly for the good of the event. Note here that draws for the tournament will be done weeks before it kicks off, but for now, host country Cameroon, Kenya and Senegal are in Port 4, Nigeria, Guinea and Gabon in Port 3, while Morocco, DR Congo, Cape Verde are in Port 2, and Port 1 is occupied by heavyweights like Tunisia, Egypt and Angola.
And for what's making news out of the country, we begin in Gabon, where a taekwondo of the national under-17 team accused of alleged sexual assaults on hundreds of children. According to reports, an investigation is being carried out and all those involved in acts of pedophilia will be arrested. At least 31 persons are reported dead in a gold collapse in central Sudan. According to officials, 31 bodies have been brought out, while one miner survived the collapse of a small-scale mine. Khaled Dabui, director of the state-owned West Kordofan Mineral Resources Company, said on Wednesday, December 29, that 8 miners are still missing. Reports say the miners were only equipped with hand tools, as is often the case in the mines of Sudan. Gold mining is a significant source of foreign exchange in Sudan, and about 2 million people work in traditional mining jobs in the country. The body of South Africa's anti-apartheid theologian Archbishop Desmond Tutu has arrived Cape Town St. George Cathedral this Thursday, December 30, 2021, where it will lie in state for 2 days. This to permit mourners pay their last respects. Emotional family members met the coffin adorned with a single bunch of white carnations outside the church entrance. To him, the overall risk related to Omicron remains very high. The World Health Organization noted that a decline in case incidents had been seen in South Africa. Tedros slammed the attitude of richer countries, accusing them of keeping the weapons to combat COVID-19 and leaving the back door open for the virus. Meanwhile, he equally said disinformation had been a constant distraction in 2021, slowing efforts to beat the pandemic. That was it for today's edition of Prime News, produced by Ewane, Nolinga, coordinated by Faith Tata. Thanks for watching, faithful viewers. Meanwhile, stay glued for more programs on The African Eye. Bye.